Hello, my beautiful people. It's Lora here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel where it's all about breathing, inhale and exhale, and getting a whole lot more selfish. If you are new to the channel, make sure that you subscribe and you click that notification. You've jumped into a great space here. This is an intentional video series that I've created that has helped me get out of my head and tap into my truest self so that I'm able to permit myself to be more selfish, living out the things that I truly love, desire, and want to. Just that simple. All right. So if you haven't seen the first part of this series, go check that out before you jump here so it all makes sense to you. If you've been following along, then you know that we are moving into what consumes your mind controls your life. Now let's jump right into it. What consumes your mind controls your life. Don't get me wrong. The mind is a powerful tool. Yes, thinking has its place and can be useful in manifesting and creating. But if it takes you over and you become identified with the mind that produces thousands of endless, repetitive, and often negative thoughts, its activity can drain you. Do you ever wonder why it's so easy to move through life listening and entertaining a cruel inner critic that gives all the wrong ideas about ourselves, or easily influenced by every judgment, billboard, headline, conversation, social media, or just anything and everything outside ourselves? There's a disconnect between your truth, consciousness, the power of your presence, and what you've been conditioned to believe. You do not need to think continuously in your daily life. And no, you don't need to go on a mission trying to stop all thinking. Stop, I can't, because it's not going to work. The more you strip down and peel away the layers of who you've been conditioned to believe you are, emptying yourself from the past, being from 10 years ago or 5 minutes ago, releasing worries and fears and all of these future projections that you expect to go as planned, the moment you're open to this, useless thoughts will fade away on their own, like those passing clouds. But let's be clear. This is not about the activity of the mind. You're here to uncover your truest self, which is to transcend the mind, go beyond the limitations of the mind. So if any of this is being understood on the level of mind, you'll believe you have more work to do in being your truest self. It doesn't have to take another second for you to start living in your truth. Your dreams, your goals, and your desires live here in this moment. Maybe your life situation isn't where you'd like it to be. But if your attention stays focused on what it is not or what you don't like, you're only feeding the problem. The past doesn't exist anymore. The future doesn't exist. It isn't real. The only moment you have is now. You're here now. What can you do now to break away from the obsession of thinking and what was, what's next, what's wrong, what's lacking, who did what, why me, what's happening? You must surrender to the space within the unchanging. So what does that mean, unchanging? The body changes, thoughts change as they come and they go, feelings change, life is happening and changing around you, but you are unchanging. Once you realize the mind is a tool, and it's not who you are not your thoughts. You find freedom in this stillness. It's not a feeling, an emotion, or an illusion. It is a connectedness to pure consciousness, God, the universe, your higher power, awareness, whatever name you identify with. It all points to the same. This deeper sense of self is unchanging. You and the unchanging are one. This is not about religion, although this pointing may help you deepen your religious practice or explore others. There's something in us all that's been covered up and blinded by all of the comings and goings and the changes happening around us. The instant that you recognize the unchanging, this stillness, that the unchanging and you are one, you become free. You free yourself from the identification with the mind, and you are able to enjoy life as it is, with all of its activity and movement, without attaching yourself to every thought of worry and fear. If any of what I'm saying to you speaks to you, and you can feel this, then in this moment, it's like you are opening your eyes for the very first time to experience life. You've energized your spirit. Now what, right? What do you do with this? You stay energized in truth and observe that life takes care of itself. Life takes care of life. All right, so let's inhale and exhale on that. All right, as we close out this video, a part of this series, I hope I didn't lose you, okay? Let me just give you the idea of this unchanging space, or this unchanging you, right? We are evolutionary beings. We are continuously evolving. You should want to change and evolve into the best version of yourself daily. But there's a space within us that is unchanging. Our spiritual nature is unchanging. The joys that flow through us is unchanging. The love that flows through us is unchanging. We may decide we don't love someone like we used to, but there's still love that never dies within, right? We may not feel happy in this moment, but there's this joy that sparks at any moment and at any given time within. And that's the unchanging. It's going back into connecting, staying connected to the joys and the loves and the God spark and the universe flowing through you. When you are plugged into source, there's a space within you that is unchanging. It's already evolutionary. It's already where you're meant to be. It's us, our human nature, that gets caught up in everything that detaches us or that disconnects us from our truth. All right? So we are human and we are beings. Our human nature is here for the experience that brings us back to the truth of our being, which is connected to God's source, the universe. And that is an unchanging space that is beautiful when you can continuously tap into that. All right? So your homework is to acknowledge that spark of joy throughout your day. Acknowledge that spark of love throughout your day. Acknowledge that spark of peace throughout your day. Whether it be 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Acknowledge when you get this sense of clarity that flows through you, that feels so good to you. It's a state of bliss. Acknowledge this through your day. All right, this is game changing. This is some good shit here. Let me tell you, because there are moments where I'm not just crying sad tears. I'm crying tears of joy that hit me. And it is a beautiful feeling when you can tap into the release of joy and flood of love in your veins and you feel it. It's like shit. That's some good release as well, to feel it cover your body, to feel it flow and project into this world, to feel that connectedness to your higher power. All right? That's all I'm saying. So your homework is some good stuff. Acknowledge, recognize, flow, dance in that spark that's unchanging within you. Love, peace, joy, clarity is within you. It never leaves. It never dies. We just get disconnected at times. Tap in. All right? All right. And as always, if you are not subscribed, you better be subscribed now so that you catch the alert for the next video in this series. We are moving into releasing that old self-image. And that's all I'm going to say. Catch you on the next one.